Warlocks, the time has arrived. I bet you thought I forgot about you, didn't you? I promised I haven't, and as a sign of solidarity, I'm coming at you today with the ultimate Brood Weaver build for your Strand Space Wizards. A little backstory for you, this is actually the first build that I theory crafted when I first heard about the abilities that would be available for Warlocks in Lightfall. I wanted to utilize the Brood Weaver's natural synergy with threadlings. So in this build, you'll summon scores of slithering sentient strand slaughter snakes to snuff out your enemies. In this build, you will become the Threadmaster. Still got it. Let's get into it. But first, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, me. If you love the channel and want access to exclusive videos, behind the scenes footage, early access to upcoming shorts, or simply just want to support more and even better videos, the Diamond Club Patreon is perfect for you. Tiers start at just $1, and as always, your support is greatly appreciated. But of course, simply liking and subscribing is more than enough as well. I'll have the link to the Patreon in the description of this video. Let's get back to it. So our first step to becoming the Threadmaster starts with mastering your aspects and fragments. So alongside your Needlestorm Super, I recommend a Healing Rift, your preferred jump, and obviously threadling grenades. For aspects, we're going with Weaver's Call. Where casting a rift weaves 3 threadlings, tiny little strand minions that seek out and destroy nearby enemies, and it will deploy any perched threadlings you may have. Oh yeah, that's right. If your threadlings don't find an enemy to kill, they'll come right back to you and wait to be sent out again. It's wild. We have Mindspun Invocation, where you consume your grenade to summon 5 perched threadlings. That's 8 threadlings so far if you're keeping track at home. Already, with our 8 little strand minions just in our aspects, we have the makings of a pretty deadly strand build. But we're not here for pretty good. We must become the Threadmaster. So let's talk fragments. For fragments, we have Thread of Rebirth, where strand weapon final blows have a chance to create threadlings. So we're up to 9 threadlings. Thread of Evolution, where threadlings travel farther and deal additional damage. And we're talking a significant damage increase. These things are aggressive. Thread of Warding, where picking up an Orb of Power grants Woven Mail. Woven Mail is just one of my new favorite abilities in the game, giving mega damage resistance and keeping you in the action longer while your murderous minions do their dirty deeds. Thread of Generation. This might be the best fragment in the game. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. That's it. That's all it does. Just basically free grenade energy, which means more threadlings. So after you slot in those fragments, if you're playing during Season of Defiance, there's also some really powerful artifact mods that you'll want to enable to take this build even a notch higher. Things like multi-siphon mods for orb generation, authorized mods for grenades, shadow orbs for even more orbs when you break match shields, and one of my favorites this season, Untangler. This one really kicks this build up because when you shoot a tangle with a strand weapon, it creates an explosion that also suspends targets. Combine that with Threaded Beast, which enhances the effects of that explosion, and you have some really powerful control and damage options. You can also go with Allied Unraveling and everyone's favorite, Volatile Flow. So now, we have a horde of threadlings, woven mail protection, strand suspension explosions, volatile rounds, and a way to get our threadling grenades back with ease. We should be done, right? Right? Wrong. We need to add some final pieces. And first things first, we need our featured exotic for this build, the Swarmers. These Warlock boots are tailor-made for this build and are required if we truly want to become the Threadmaster. The Swarmers perk says that destroying a tangle spawns a threadling and your threadlings unravel targets that they damage. And I suppose now's a great time to talk about unraveling. This is another great strand debuff added to the game. Not only does it increase your damage output, but it also spreads unraveling to nearby enemies, so you can very easily take out a large group of enemies with a single threadling and a few bullets. It's great. Now for weapons, you actually have quite a few options here, and all are equally viable depending on what activity you're running. You can go with Traveler's Chosen with Osmosis, which changes the damage type to Strand when you throw or consume your grenade, and you get access to Gathering Light, which keeps your abilities topped off at all times. You can use something like Vexcalibur, which is great for dealing with unstoppable champs with the seasonal mod, and you get nearly infinite overshield. But actually, my favorite weapon to use with this build is the base crafted version of the Season of Defiance auto rifle Perpetualis. It gets Zen Moment and Demolitionist, which is perfect synergy with this build because it's Strand, which will proc Thread of Rebirth, and Demo, which will feed your threadling grenades and keep your weapon loaded at all times, and it will spawn a hatchling. You can also hunt for a Demolitionist Rufus's Fury, which is available in the Root of Nightmares raid. Also, perks like Hatchling is great here as well, which will bring your threadling count to 10 plus at any given moment once you combine everything. So now let's talk about the gameplay loop. You see a group of enemies, and then BOOM! You consume your threadling grenade, perching 5 minions of darkness on your shoulder who are just eager to do your bidding, and then POW! You activate your Rift ability, generating 3 more and deploying them to wreak havoc on your enemies. And while they're off destroying and unraveling everything in sight like a pack of ravenous piranha, you start sending out shots with your Perpetualis, maybe shooting down a tangle causing a massive strand explosion that suspends everything in the area, or maybe just taking down enemies left and right, activating Thread of Generation and Demolitionist, giving you your threadling grenade right back, allowing you to start the loop all over again. Add to that armor mods like Firepower, Heavy-Handed, Reaper, Strand Weapon Surge, Innervation, and Recuperation, all designed to help you utilize and spawn orbs of power, keeping all your abilities charged up and your health constantly restored. Throw in a couple bomber mods and you'll never be without a threadling grenade to throw or consume. Warlocks, you gotta try this. Unleash your deadly Strand threadlings onto the world and watch, laughing as it unravels in front of you. But that's it for me. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. You can also visit my Twitch channel where we conceptualize and test these builds live on stream, as well as have all kinds of fun with chat. Sound off in the comments below with what you think about this build, if you like it, if you're going to try it, or if you've already tried it, what you think about it. You can also let me know what other builds you'd like me to try or what class you'd like me to try to make a build for. But until next time, peace out, I love you, bye-bye.